Hi, I'm Scott Kwan and I'm a training manager at Acuity Brands. In this short presentation, I'll be providing a short tutorial on the nLIGHT air lighting control system. I'll be going over the parts and pieces that make up the nLIGHT air lighting control system, how to set up and program, and best practices and troubleshooting tips. In this particular tutorial, we'll be going over two main parts: the nLIGHT air dimmer switch and the nLIGHT air enabled fixture. So this is an nLIGHT enabled fixture. Now what makes this an nLIGHT enabled fixture is this component up here on top. This device here is a combination of an occupancy sensor, a photocell, and it also has two radios inside. One radio to communicate with your Clarity app and one radio to communicate between devices. Without it, this would simply be a regular fixture. When you first receive this nLIGHT enabled fixture, the control component is already built into the fixture. So basically, this entire fixture here mounts, wires, and installs just like any other fixture. The controls are already inside and pre-wired. When an nLIGHT air enabled fixture is installed and powered up, the out-of-the-box operation is that the sensor will be disabled and the lights will be at 100% brightness. The second product I'll be going over is the nLIGHT air dimmer switch. Now this switch provides on-off, raise, and lower functionality. It also has two radios built into it just like the sensor. It has one radio for device communication and one radio to communicate with your Clarity app. The nLIGHT air dimmer switch is powered by 3 AAA batteries. They should last you up to roughly 10 years, but if they ever need to be replaced, you simply pull out this clip on the left side of your switch, pull it up, and then pull that piece back. It removes very easily, and then you simply pull down on the back part of the switch like that, and your batteries are located right there. The third product we'll be going over is Acuity's Clarity app. This app is required to do any programming, commissioning, or reconfigurations in the future on the nLIGHT air lighting control system. It's available on both Apple phones as well as Androids. When commissioning an nLIGHT air lighting control system, my preferred method is to use a secondary device such as an iPad like this or an Android tablet in order to leave your phone line open in case you get a phone call, and to also reserve the battery life of the device that you're using to commission your system. To download the Clarity app on your iPhone or iPad device, simply go to the App Store. Go ahead and click that. And in the search window, type in Clarity, C-L-A-I-R-I-T-Y, and then do a search. And what we're looking for is the AC Clarity app, which you see here on the top middle. It's going to say install. Quickly hit that button and install the app. Now on my particular device, I have it as open as opposed to install because I already have it installed on my device. Once you have your Clarity app installed on your device, the next step is required for all new users in order to create a unique user ID. So simply go to your browser and then type in air.acuitynext.com, and this is the page that you'll see. You want to click on the link that says sign up now. On this page, first type in your email address and then hit the send verification code button. The verification code will be sent to your email within seconds. Once you receive your verification code, enter your verification code and then go ahead and fill out the remaining questions on this page. And then at the very end, hit the create button and it will automatically log you in to the site. Once you log in, you will see this screen. Now there are two main tabs that are in use on this particular screen: the Sites tab and the Site Share tab. Now what a site is a project, or basically a building or a facility. Now when you hit the Sites tab, you'll notice that on my screen, you do not see any projects. That's because I just signed up for this account. So when you initially sign up, you'll notice that you will not see any projects in here as well. The only way for projects to show up on this particular screen are either by creating a new site, which is only done by the on-site technician during the initial commissioning of a project, or if the initial creator of a project includes your email on that project. Once you have been given access to a job site, simply click the Sites button and you should see the project displayed here. If the project you're looking for is not found on this page, please contact the site creator, which is typically the installing contractor. If you see the project that you're looking for on this page, simply close out this page and then go ahead and open your Clarity app. Once you log into the Clarity app, you'll see your project shown here, just like so. Simply click that project and it'll jump you to the site overview page, where you'll see some information about that project that you had entered previously, as well as some additional information. Next, we want to create our group. To do so, go ahead and click the Groups button. Now, as a reminder, a group is any room or space that needs to be controlled. Now, for this demonstration, we're going to create a room called Room 100. Now, to do that, simply click the plus symbol on the bottom of that screen, click the names, and then go ahead and type in your room name. Okay? Again, when you do this, make sure that you're in the space that you're programmed. For any reason the lights in your space are not on, make sure that the on-off switch is in the on position. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights in my demo system here. Go ahead and click your group and you'll see the screen that you see here. The next step is to hit the Devices button. You'll see a grid just like you see here, which represents the space that you're currently in. Go ahead and hit the blue plus symbol on the bottom left. And you'll notice that our app here detected 3 fixtures that I just turned on here. Now for this demonstration, we're going to commission the first 2 fixtures. We're going to assume that these fixtures are the only ones that belong to room 100, while the very last fixture at the end belongs to another space. So in order to do that, we have to determine which one of these fixtures represent the 2 fixtures that we want to commission for room 100. Now to do that, you simply hit identify on each fixture one by one. Now what that's going to do is flash each symbol so we know which one of these fixtures represents the fixtures that we see on the right. So go ahead and hit identify on the first fixture and you'll notice that there'll be a yellow circle. Once it turns green, it'll start flashing like you see here. Okay, so since this one is flashing, I know that one is the very first one on my list. Okay, since I identified that, I'm going to do that for the second fixture as well. The second one on my list is the very last one. Since I only have 3 with process of elimination, I know right off the bat that the first and the third one on my list will belong to my room 101. So I'll go ahead and commission those fixtures. The next step is to deselect the identify button, hit the arrow on the right side, and place it on your grid. Okay? So let's assume that fixture is somewhere on the right side of the room. So I'll go ahead and click somewhere on the right side over there and it'll place it on our grid. Like so. Next step is to press the plus symbol to add another fixture. Now go to your fixtures. Now we will go ahead and identify the next fixture. And we'll wait for it to flash. And we've identified it's the fixture we do not want to commission. So that one we will leave alone. And so by process of elimination, we know that the next fixture we want is the bottom one. So we're going to deselect identify. We're going to go ahead and hit the arrow on the bottom fixture and place it on the grid. And wait a few seconds and it'll place it on the grid like so. Once you've placed your fixtures on your grid, you'll notice that the fixtures that have been identified by the app will be dimmer than the rest of the fixtures outside of that space. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to remove any fixtures on your grid that actually belong to another space. So in this example, I'm going to go ahead and add the very last fixtures that wasn't part of the space. So I'll put it somewhere random so I can identify it really quick. Okay, there it is. Now to delete it, all you do is hit the minus symbol you see down here. Once it's red, hit the fixture you want to delete. And it should go ahead and delete in a few seconds like you see here. While on the device layout page, keep in mind that you can simply pinch your fingers to zoom out or spread your fingers to zoom in. Once you're done placing your fixtures on your grid, go ahead and hit the done button on the upper right corner. A zone is basically lights that are controlled together. So for most rooms, lights are all going to require a single zone. But for example, you'll need two zones if a space has front lights and back lights. Now, for our demonstration here, we're going to create a single zone since we only have two fixtures. So I'm going to hit the plus symbol on the bottom of the screen. And to add the fixtures to the zone, I'm going to click both fixtures until they turn orange. Orange is an indication that it is part of that zone. Next is to hit the done button on the upper right, and now my zone has been created. To recap, we've created a group, we've assigned two of our fixtures to that group, and we've also assigned those fixtures to a zone. The next step is to program those fixtures, and to do so we need to go to the behaviors menu, which are the functional settings of our nLIGHT Air devices. I'm going to go ahead and click the behaviors menu. And then to create a behavior, simply click the plus symbol on the right side. I'm going to go to occupancy, and it'll state occupancy vacancy on by. It says switch by default. We're going to change that to occupancy auto on so that the lights turn on with the sensor. The turn on to 100% when occupied, we're going to click on 100 and we're going to change that to 80%. Next, it says dim to 10% after 7.5 minutes of no activity. We're going to click the 10% and we're going to change that to 80%. And then it says turn off 2.5 minutes after dimming. We're going to change that after turn off never after dimming. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click save on the upper right corner. And I'll push those settings into your devices. The behavior setting that I just programmed is going to allow these two fixtures that are a part of room 100 to remain at 80% brightness at all times. So the occupancy sensor is going to remain in a disabled state. Once the behavior settings that we just set into the devices are accepted, you'll notice that the fixtures will turn green as you see here. Next step is to simply hit the done button on the upper right corner. For corridors, programming at this point is now complete. But for spaces such as offices, switches may be required, so now I will demonstrate how to program an nLIGHT Air switch. To program the switch, we first need to identify the switch within our group. To do so, hit the device button, and on the device layout, hit the plus button on the bottom left, and then hit the switches button. In order to identify the switch, make sure that you hit the button on the switch that needs to be identified twice. Doing so will allow the switch to appear on the screen. The next step is to hit the arrow on the far right and then place it on your grid. After a few seconds, it should appear on your grid like so. Once it is placed, simply hit the Done button on the upper right corner and you are complete.
So our next step is to go ahead and add this new switch into our existing Zone 1 with the 2 other fixtures. Go ahead and use the same steps as before to add devices to a zone. Once you have successfully added the switch to Zone 1, our next move is to go ahead and create a new behavior so that the switch would be able to control the 2 fixtures that are in Zone 1. This requires you to get back into the Behaviors programming menu to add a new switch behavior. When you have done so, don't forget to click Save. Once you have done that, programming is pushed and you are done. If you are not able to sign into the Clarity app, check your mobile device and ensure that internet is enabled. Enable your Wi-Fi and/or cellular data. If you do not see nLIGHT Air devices on your Clarity app, make sure your fixtures are energized and check Bluetooth and make sure that it's set to enable in your mobile device. Generally speaking, the Clarity app processing speed can be anywhere between a few seconds all the way up to 10 seconds in most cases. From time, you may experience very slow app speed or maybe it has stalled. Here are a few steps to take if that has happened to you. First, make sure the app is up to date. Second, when navigating and pressing buttons on the app, a single button push is all that is needed to process. Allow the app to think and process once it has received your button push input. Third, if it appears that the app has stalled, close and reopen the app if necessary. Having multiple users on a site. Some best practices for multiple users on the same site. First, site users that already have access to the site can grant access to other users. Second, work in different areas of the building. The distance between resources minimizes the likelihood that devices will be flashed in someone else's area. Resources cannot perform startup activities within the same group. Third, you may see delays in the latest programming settings between users. In the event that simultaneous users are in the building that has poor cellular coverage, we recommend regular communication with your colleagues to ensure each knows who is starting up which portion of the building, as changes they make on their mobile device will not show on your mobile device immediately until those changes can be pushed to the cloud through a cellular or wireless Wi-Fi connection. For additional help, please reach out to Acuity Technical Support at 1-800-535-2465.